In this ArcGIS Pro demonstration, we're going to show how to move around the map display or to navigate around it. One of the things you can do if you can't remember what keys do what is to come up over here with map selected in the main menu and hover over top of this explore icon there, and you can see it gives you some hints as to what keys do what on the mouse and also on the keyboard. So to begin with, we're going to look at zooming. All right, so we can easily zoom in and out by rolling the wheel on the mouse. All right, so that's one way you can do it. Roll it forward, roll it backwards. All right. One of the other things you can do is you can hold the shift key down, and with the shift key down, you can then box in around an area you want to zoom in. So I'm going to left mouse click here and then drag across the screen to create a box that I'm going to zoom in on and release. All right. Now the other thing is, once you've done some zooming in and out on the screen, you can come up in the navigate tools here and see that you can go back to the previous extent. And now that I've selected that, I can actually go to the next extent, which is the one I was just at. So I can go that way, or I can go for as many extents as I've rolled through or switched through. I can go backwards and forwards through those. All right, next thing we're going to do is pan. So if I left mouse click and slide the mouse, I can pan around the screen. I can slide it up, I can slide it down, slide it left, right. The other thing is I can do the same thing with the wheel on the mouse. I can click the wheel down and pan in the same way. Now the other thing we can do is when we're in this mode here, we can actually tilt the map. Right, so to tilt the map, we hold the V key down, the letter V. All right, and you can see the cursor change to this curled arrow, and then as I left mouse click and hold, I can then cause the map to rotate. Now that it's north is no longer up, what I can actually do is hit the letter N key on the keyboard, and it will orient the map being so that north is up again. All right, the other thing is when we're editing features, so I'm going to go to edit here, and now that I have edit, I'm going to click on my strata feature here, and I'm going to select one of the edit tools here. Now once I'm in edit mode, I'm going to click over to the 3D view here. So if you want to put on your 3D glasses, if you have them, this might be better to watch in 3D, but you don't have to. So in this view, because I have the edit tool invoked, if I click in some of the ways I just did in zooming in and panning, I'll end up starting to create a feature because I have this feature edit tool invoked. And we can, if we look down here, we see this toolbar, which reminds me that I am now in a mode to edit features. So in this mode, if I want to zoom in or out, what I can do is right click the mouse and then slide the mouse forward, and I zoom out. I can slide it backwards and I zoom in. And then I can, if I, back in my stereo map here, I can use those previous extent and next extent keys just like I did before. For panning, all right, if I can still click on the mouse wheel and hold and pan around like I did before. But I cannot left mouse click because then I'm going to start editing the feature. Now, if I want to turn off editing mode, I can do that by coming down here and choosing here to finish the edits I've done, and it'll save whatever edits I've done. Or I can come over here and cancel, and I would cancel all the edits that I've created. In this case, I haven't done any edits, so it doesn't really matter which one I choose, but it will get me out of that edit mode. But another one I want to show you that involves key movement, and that's adjusting the parallax, the red and blue images. And to do that, I'm gonna zoom out a bit, wait for it to redraw, and then I think I'm gonna zoom in on one of these buildings here. Waited for it to redraw again. Without the 3D glasses on, you can see the red and blue images, and the red should be on the left and the blue on the right. If you want to adjust how far apart they are, one way to do that is to hold the control key down and then hit the right or left arrow keys. I'm gonna hit the right 3 times. Oops. Oops. Let's get my mouse in here. There. I had to click on it first. All right. You can see them move. All right. Okay. So now we're going to look at another way to adjust the parallax, and that is to invoke the feature edit mode. So go to editing, create feature, and then come in here and pick a feature editing tool. And once that does, you can see now we have the toolbar down here, which indicates that feature edit mode is in. And once that's done, when we hold the V letter key code down and we click and hold and grab, you can see that we can grab the blue image and move it around. So we could adjust the parallax that way, or the way we previously did. The last thing I want to do is, let's turn off this editing. All right. And the next thing I want to do is show you how to measure the height of something. And to observe this, you may want to put on your red, blue 3D glasses if you have them. So with the glasses on, you can watch. You'll be able to watch the cursor float up and down. So I'm rolling the cursor back towards me right now, and that the cursor is floating up. And now I roll it away from me and it floats down. So if I wanted to measure the height of a tree, what I could do is float down to the ground right here, and you got to be, it takes a little bit of practice, but you can get it right on the ground. If you go too far, you can see how it actually starts to sink into the ground. So let's bring it back up a bit. Now we're floating up. So I think about there we're down on the ground. And if we look down here, we can see an elevation. All right. So the elevation is 286.46 meters. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover up from there to the top of this tree here. All right. So you can see I'm well above it now. Let's go down till we get over this tree. So that looks pretty good. And now we can read the elevation off for that, and it's 298.45. So we had 286.46 before, so we're approximately 12 meters high for that tree. Let's see, I think that covers everything I wanted to go over here. Yes. That's moving around in your map display.